Zacks Rank Buys, stocks with a short-term buy or strong buy recommendation. Now, here are more Zacks Rank Buys. Time to check out a couple more value stock picks with Tracy Reinick, our value stock analyst at Zacks.com. And I'll tell you, you've outdone yourself this time. You've brought a couple of real doozies down here with you. Ingram Micro Incorporated, IM the ticker symbol,
yes,
is one stock. They distribute technology from 1,500 vendors. From what I can tell, electronics, toys and games may be part of that distribution process, but they don't say really what else.
Right. They're big. They distribute all kind of technology.
They're big. They are big.
They do run one of the largest distribution centers in Asia, so they have the Asian market, or at least a part of it that we know of. Mm. And one of their other big things in the United States is that they help their customers in like logistics and services. So they run 8 logistic facilities on behalf of their customers.
It's like fulfillment centers.
Yes, and so right now it's their big part of the season. The company said that they're going to be shipping 3 to 4 million packages of some sort of toys, games, electronics, everything. For the holidays in the next couple of weeks. So this is a big time for them and their customers.
Maybe from online ordering.
Yes, exactly. So they're kind of have their hand in numerous different aspects, not just distributing it in many ways, like through these logistical centers and then also directly to their customers.
Okay, that's beginning to make a little bit more sense to me.
Yeah. They're Zacks number one. They're not super expensive. They're trading about 13, almost 14 times earnings. Their last quarter was good. They beat estimates. But they're also seeing the revenue drop year over year, which we're seeing almost every company, especially this kind of technology, consumer-oriented area to some extent. But analysts like what they're hearing because they're starting to see revenues jump quarter over quarter, which is a good sign. And they did see this last quarter, it jumped 12% from the quarter before, which was their biggest one-quarter jump in 9 years. Mm-hmm. And the company is even saying that they're going to see still sales decline in the fourth quarter, but it's going to be probably single digits. And right now they're having the double digits. So they're on the path towards actual revenue growth, hopefully, maybe in 2010. So the analysts have all been raising estimates for the rest of 2009 into 2010. And, so that's a positive thing. That's why we got the Zacks number one rank here. And the chart, they saw the March low like everyone else, almost everybody, and they bounced off of that, not as much as some other companies we've seen, but that's also why, they're trading at only 14 times because the stock hasn't completely, tripled or anything. It's only doubled off the low. So their story's pretty good right now.
All right, and then the other company that you want to talk about and that you've written about recently is Inofos Holdings.
Yes.
IPHS, the ticker symbol.
Yeah.
Hopefully I pronounced that right. Offering products to customers for use in food, beverages, pharmaceuticals, and other applications.
Yes. They manufacture specialty phosphates that go into all those things you just said.
Okay.
So, again, they've been hit pretty hard by the economic recession. The stock was actually a Zacks number one rank when I wrote about it, and now it has fallen to a number 3. That's because the estimates have been dropping. The stock isn't very expensive, which is why I covered it at all. It's one of the cheaper ones I've done in a while. It's only trading at about 7.5 times forward earnings. Okay. It, too, has had trouble with revenue. Revenue was down almost 50% last quarter, year over year, but it is also seeing an improvement quarter over quarter. They're mainly North America. They have facilities in Mexico, Canada, and the U.S., and so they're seeing their U.S. and Canada business start to pick up, but Mexico is still having problems. And a lot of that, like the beverage industry down there, is really taking it hard. So Mexico, they still see in the next quarter kind of lagging, but the other 2 markets improving. And the U.S. is their larger market. So if they see more of an improvement in the U.S., that should help the bottom line. The analysts are a little dubious going into next year for some reason. They're much more positive this year. The company's beat heavily the last couple quarters. But so that's something to watch with them. And because at least one analyst has been a little more dubious in the last couple days, which is why he or she lowered, and then we're seeing the Zacks number 3 rank. But the stock, like I said, is really cheap. It has a price to book of 1.7, I think, right now. And it pays a dividend at almost a 3% yield. So you're getting the dividend while you're holding. The stock bottomed out in March and then has rebounded off of that. But as I said, it's only 7.5 times forward.
All right. Do you own either of these two?
I do not.
Check out other value stock picks by Tracy and stock picks in other investing categories On our homepage at Zacks.com, you can link to all of those stories that are up there in the upper right-hand corner by just clicking on them. We put 4 new stock pick ideas for you up each day, 1 in each of the investment categories written about on Zacks.com. With Tracy Reinick, I'm Terry Ruffalo.